Hey guys, it's Steph here with the FlowerFanatic. It is an absolutely beautiful fall day. The leaves are finally starting to fall, which I've been waiting for because I need to protect some of my other plants. But in this video, over the past week, I have been working incredibly hard, no rest, trying to get all of my cutting garden ready, plant some fall seeds so I can get some spring blooms. If you saw my recent video, I kind of gave you an outline of what I was going to do, a kind of a planning video, and today I finally have it all ready so I can do it. My goal here is to make my spring flowers just a little bit more low maintenance, because when spring comes, I've really got to focus on my weed control. I've got to get compost down, get some mulch down, and so I just really want to enjoy blooms without having to plant them, without having to grow them in the greenhouse and having to harden them off, bringing them in and out. I will grow some seeds still in my greenhouse, ones that are super easy, like my zinnias and my cosmos and some dahlia tubers. Actually, I'm gonna wait to plant my dahlia tubers in the ground when June hits. But anyways, these are some seeds that like the cool weather. They will go dormant. The seeds will kind of go dormant when it gets really cold. They'll start to germinate when it's kind of cool, but not too cold. And then you'll get those spring blooms. So I'm really excited. Sprinkling seeds is so much easier than anything I've ever done. So I'm gonna go ahead and start planting 5 different seeds today. I'll give a little overview of each of them, kind of show you where I'm gonna plant them. This is really great for those of you who live in a zone 6B climate like me. It gets hot about June. It actually will get pretty hot towards the middle of May. So these blooms, you're gonna get heavy blooms from about early spring till that early summer until it starts to get hot, except for one of the plants that I'm going to put is Feverfew, and that one comes out in the summer. Just want to give you an overview of what I have going on here. I cleaned this area up like crazy. I pulled out all my amaranth. It did so awesome last year, and I actually took out my landscape fabric where I'm going to plant flowers. This first row right here, I'm going to be planting beautiful Larkspur. So let's talk about that seed, get it down a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next one. So I got my Larkspur from Johnny Select Seeds. I really like them. They get 36 to 48 inches tall. Right here, this is the light pink variety, but I actually mixed a dark blue with the smoky eyes together to create a mixed look and put it in this package because I wanted a lot of different colors. But it is one of those that actually doesn't like to germinate above 55 degrees. So it definitely likes those cooler temperatures. So I'm gonna throw them in the ground right now, and they'll start to germinate as the temperature gets near these temperatures more consistently. So really easy, and it's such a beautiful flower. I am so excited for this one. So this is my first time growing Larkspur. I saw it all over my neighborhood this early spring to summer, and it was absolutely gorgeous. The leaves are a little bit more fern-like. They are from the family Delphinium, but they're just a little bit skinnier, and those leaves provide better foliage in my opinion. But they do like the cooler temperatures, so when it gets really hot here, they stop blooming, and so I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out and then replace them with some zinnias and cosmos, those heat lovers. So I'll get flowers from spring until fall in this cutting garden. All right, let's take a look at these seeds. They're pretty small, but not that small compared to the Snapdragons that I'm going to be planting in a minute. Those are like dust. Just sprinkle these all throughout here. In spring, I'm definitely going to have to thin them out to about 4 to 6 inches apart. Okay, after I planted those seeds, like I said, it's my first time. I wish I had bought double of the packets that I bought. This area right here, I'm going to plant my Snapdragon seeds. They don't want anything to cover them. They need a lot of light to germinate. So all you have to do is dust them and sprinkle them on these rows. I'm definitely going to wish I had bought double on these Snapdragon seeds again too, just because I can't see where I'm putting them. They're so small, just to make sure I go the distance, and then I can thin them out when they start to come out. So I had some Snapdragons that I grew in the greenhouse. I wasn't really happy with it. The germination rate wasn't great. And so I thought if I did it in the ground, it might be a little bit easier. I did get about 18 plants over here. They are going through a little transplant shock, and they need a nice dose of water. So I'm gonna water them in a little bit, but I'm really excited to see what happens here. They are gonna winter over. I'm gonna cut them down and protect them with some straw and mulch to keep them warm, because I don't know what my winter will be like. It has been more mild lately, but if it gets really cold, they're gonna need a little extra protection. What I like about those established Snapdragons, by the time spring comes around, they're gonna be nice and tall because those roots have a head start. They're nice and established, more mature. So I'm hoping they'll reach their peak height. I'm gonna make sure to net them in spring because they are gonna flop big time if I don't do that with all the crazy spring weather. They did flop really bad this year because I didn't net them. and so they didn't really reach their full potential. So I cannot wait to show you what they look like in spring. They're gonna be so pretty. They're a beautiful ivory color. So right here in my cutting garden, I didn't want all of those white ones. I wanted a mix of color. I'm gonna try to keep them in this cutting garden year after year. I want them to be nice and established, and I wanted a mix of colors. So that's kind of why I moved the white ones into the garden box, because I'm gonna have to actually remove those for my husband's vegetable garden. So it's just gonna be blooms that I enjoy in spring, and then I'll have these other ones that in my cutting garden to enjoy spring to fall year after year. And they just have a mix of peachy pinks and some white. So it's gonna be really pretty. This is the Potomac early sunrise mix. Look at how tall they get, 40 to 60 inches tall. They won't get that tall, I don't think, next summer, but the following summer they should. Almost hard to believe that those tiny seeds are going to germinate. I'm having some trust issues. I'm really hoping it's going to do what it's supposed to do. Just wanted to add that they definitely are spring heavy bloomers. They kind of slow down in the heat and then they come out aggressively again in fall. I'll go show you some of mine that are looking pretty good still, and we've had 2 hard frosts. See how gorgeous these are, and they're so much taller now. They were so short in spring, and they're definitely reaching some height finally. I have 2 more seeds that I'm going to plant. I'm going to plant Feverfew right now. So this is actually a perennial. It's already down to zone 5. They have the cutest little white flowers. They look like miniature daisies, and I'm going to actually plant them in front of my roses. They are just a match made in heaven, especially in your cutting bouquets. I think they look gorgeous. They are one that comes out in the summer. These other ones that I've showed you, they're definitely ones that don't like the heat. Oh, it's getting crazy. They get about 36 inches tall, so that's a nice tall flower in the cutting garden. Let's get them in the ground. All right, I'm gonna head over to the garden box. I have one more thing I'm gonna plant in there. This one's a great one for the garden box / vegetable area because it really likes the cool weather. I'm gonna pull them as soon as it gets hot, or whenever my husband wants to get his vegetables in the ground. This is the Calendula orange flash. It's actually edible. It doesn't really like temperatures above 85 degrees. They look like little worms to me. So with these ones, I am just gonna give them a little bit of a raking just because they are a bigger seed. I'm not doing that with the rest of them, just to make sure it's a little bit under the surface of the soil. That is all I've got for you guys today. I'm so excited to see what happens in spring. Remember, it is not too late to go buy some of these seeds and plant them yourselves. Hope you guys are enjoying fall as much as I am. Our fall is always kind of a teaser, so I'm really soaking it up and enjoying it as much as I possibly can. Have a great day gardening, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.